And we have a wonderful service. We got Reverend Debbie in the house. We have Alan Klein to sing for us. Are there any other ministers or practitioners out here that I don't know about? I always want to acknowledge you. Reverend Deborah is here, and she's going to be holding high watch. So she's just stepped out, but she's going to be here with us. So I'm very grateful that we all get to come and share this experience together. So let's have an invocation. Recognizing that one power, that one presence that breathes in and out as each and every one of us, that is always present, that one power that expresses itself as us. And what it expresses is love. That's all it is love. And I know this. And I claim this for each and every person here. And I know that between the music and the message, that everyone is going to leave here today spiritually filled. So I am so grateful to release this, my word, into the law, knowing it is heard. I say yes to it, and I invite you to say yes to it as well. So together we say, and so it is. Yes. Here's Reverend Deborah. She's going to say hi watch for us.
What is high wash? Yeah. What is high wash?
Yeah, she holds the space for the room. Her intention is for all of us to receive what we came here to receive, and have no outside interference at all. Yeah. Thank you for that question. So we're going to have our opening song. And then after we do the opening song, we're going to have a time when we greet each other. Yes? So let's have our opening song.
Stand up and sing and dance.
I am thankful, grateful heart, I am whole. Glory be to the power of this mind that I know. So full praise to the wonder. Freedom, sing a joyful song, calling love to the center, lifting all is one. Blessed day, I am thankful, grateful heart, I am whole. Glory be to the power of this mind that I know. So full praise to the wonder, freedom, sing a joyful song. Calling love to the center, lifting all is one. Now singing now, so it is. Anything I dream, it is. Singing now, so it is. Think bigger now, so it is. I'm holding this vision of peace, knowing a world of harmony. Calling love to the center, lifting all, we are free. Day, I am thankful, grateful heart, I am whole. Glory be to the power of this mind that I know. So full praise to the wonder, freedom, sing a joyful song. Calling love to the center, lifting all is one. I'm singing now, so it is. Anything I dream, it is. Singing now, so it
Good morning, Mama. Good
I'm so excited today.
Namaste, doctor.
It is my distinct pleasure to introduce Reverend Debbie Putnam, who is going to lead the service for us today. Come on up, Debbie.
Thank you, Peter. I thought Peter was doing a great job, so.
Yeah, love
I'm so grateful Peter is here and all of you. What a great job you do. Thank you so much. Yeah, so this is the part of the service where we talk about what we teach, the underpinnings of who and what we are. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, excellent.
My bad. Go ahead.
You can't hear me?
Okay, I turned on the speaker.
Oh, I'm just kidding. Oh, okay, I just hold of that. So what do we teach? There is a power for good. Not only is there a power for good, but it is all that is. It is the infinite. It is the one. We are part of this one. We can use it by thinking. We use it all the time by our thinking and our feeling. And what we teach here is how to do that, how to become more conscious in our choices, in our lives, and to live the lives that are better and better, and hopefully the lives that we love and dream of. All thought is creative and influential. All thought. And as Patricia likes to say, maybe not so much just the little thought that flits across. You don't have to worry about every single little thought. And that's true, but some of them get a little repetitive and dig ruts in the mud, and then the ruts kind of get dried up, and So we watch our thought, we watch our emotions, and we create our lives. There is only God. Back to one God. There is only God. And all evil starts and stops with the minds of people, because we have free will. We have been given the freedom to make choices, and sometimes our choices don't seem as harmonious as others, and all of us are on this journey to a richer and richer experience of life, and that is why we are here and share this time together. Everything in our experience is either a call for love or an expression of love. And as we like to say, sometimes something seems like it's both. Sometimes my expression of love that I think is loving doesn't come across as quite as loving to the other person, and so sometimes it's a bit of a journey figuring out what that expression of love is. And in fact, this month we're talking all about love, so here we are, talking about love yet again. A call for love or an expression of love, no exceptions. You and 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 you on YouTube and you and you and you and you. You are whole. You are perfect. And you are complete. Just as you are right now. You are an original blessing, born of love and created of God's stuff. And that's what we teach. And now we have Peter back to meditation and music.
So one afternoon there was a goldfish and a salamander in the water, and they're eating some moss off of a rock. And the salamander turns to the goldfish and says, "What is it like being surrounded by water all the time?" And the goldfish turns to the salamander and says, "What's water?" So this meditation is about we are surrounded by the love of Spirit all the time. And our free will boils down to saying yes to it. Really, that's the choice we have, is to say yes to it or not. And so this meditation that was left for us, I invite you to have these be indications or guideposts for you to use. And I invite you to experiment with saying yes to them. So get yourself comfortable, eyes open, eyes closed, whatever you like. Please include in advance all the noise or whatever that may or may not happen. Reverend DeVore is holding the space for us during this meditation. So practicing the presence, I open my whole being to the presence of God. May my heart receive it. May my soul precede it. I flood my whole being with the radiance of God. I feel with the heart of God. I see with the eye of God. I think with the mind of God. I serve with the will of God. I act with the wisdom of God. I love with the joy of God. I incarnate the soul of God to manifest the life of God. Say yes.
Yes.
All right. And so we have music for, so just sit there, enjoy the music, and practice saying yes. So we have our readings for today. Please repeat them with me, and as you do, I invite you to say yes to them in your soul. Love begets tolerance, and
Tolerance begets understanding, which is being able to put oneself in the other person's place and see why he acts as he acts, why he does what he does. Thus love can create a better world in which to live. It is the one power which can, in our science, proceeds to a changing world.
that's right. And from Ram Dass, unconditional love really exists in each of us.
It is part of our deep inner being. It is not so much an act of emotion as a state of being.
And it is my also distinct pleasure now to invite Ellen King to serenade us.
Words I have to say may well be simple, but they're true. Till we give our love, there's nothing more that we can do. Love is the opening door. Love is what we came here for. No one could offer you more. You know what I mean. Have your eyes really seen? You say it's very hard to leave behind the life we knew. There's no other way, now it's up to me and you. Love is the key we must turn. Truth is the flame we must burn. Freedom the lesson we must learn. You know what I mean. Have your eyes really seen? Joy you're searching for is only waiting in your heart. So you can share it more. Now's the perfect time to start. Love is the way it must be. Peace is the path we must seek. Joy is right here for you and me. You know what I mean. Have your eyes really seen? You know what I mean. Have your eyes really seen?
Isn't Alan wonderful?
Yes.
Alan, you are wonderful. Thank you. So, as you've probably already gathered, we're talking about love today. I've mentioned it, Alan just sang about it, Peter had us meditate about it. love is such an easy and such a difficult topic, right? We are born into love. Look into the eyes of a baby, into the face of a baby, and there is this unconditional openness, this willingness to see the world, this trust, this incredible awe and wonder. And we look there and we see love and we know that they are born of love, they are born in love. Whatever experience that baby may be having in their life, that baby is born of love. And yet it is an unconscious love, right? We come into the world not conscious of what this world is, at least. And it seems like we spend our entire lives coming back to love or learning love through all of the experiences of life. And I don't know if there is anything that challenges us more. Has anybody ever had a challenging experience in their life around love? Whether it was of a person, of a pet, whatever. It's love. Reverend Sharon used to say that love, actually she said family, but I still think it's love, is the fastest way to self. And what she meant by that was all of the experiences that she had with her family that brought her back to needing to know herself as love. And that the same is true for all of us. And in fact, so when our children were little, sometimes they would argue. Now, probably no one else's children argued. I had this vision when we had a family. My beloved husband is here, and we have 4 kids. We raised 4 daughters together. And I had this vision that home is a place of harmony. This is where you come home to be completely safe, and nobody ever argues. I was just about an only child, can you tell? My parents doted on me. And then I discovered the real truth, which was, yeah, they love each other, and they argue quite a bit. There was a lot of fighting. And so I would tell them to tell each other 3 things they loved about each other. I would say, tell your sisters 3 things you love about them. And our beloved Heather, who is brilliant, and she's our East Coast daughter, we played online games with them yesterday, came up with a ready solution with a pout in her face, a thrust out chin, and a bit of anger in her eyes, you know, that face. I love your everything, your heart, and your bones. And that quickly became the mantra for the kids. I love your everything, your heart, and your bones. This was the response to this question. It was not what my mom brain thought they should be saying. And at the same time, I noticed it transformed the energy. And so what my mom brain thought they should be saying wasn't necessarily what they had to say. Even just this sort of rote comment that was not said with any kind of joy or willingness transformed the energy, and then they got along. It was the weirdest thing. I spent a lot of time this week, these past couple of days in particular, studying this book. This is an incredible book. It's called Loving Kindness, The Revolutionary Art of Happiness, and it is by Sharon Salzberg, with a foreword by, I'm sure you've heard of him, John Kabat-Zinn. Sharon Salzberg, is a Buddhist teacher, and this whole book is about loving kindness. And a story that really struck me in this is there were plants. This was an experiment. There were plants, a single plant given to people at a senior home, at a nursing facility, in fact. And each person was given a plant. And half of the people were told, here, you can eat the half. You need to water and tend this plant, make sure that it gets enough sunlight, take good care of this plant. This plant is yours to care for. You, on the other hand, of course they didn't know what was told to each other, you are given this plant to enjoy, but the nursing staff will take care of it. You're fine. You can just kind of enjoy it if you feel like it. A year later, they did health metrics on these people who had held the plants for a year, and they discovered that the people who were asked to tend for the plant had much better health metrics. In fact, they were much better than they had been the year before. Some of them had even lived when life expectancy was not so great. And the other group had, I want to call it normal, the expected health metrics. They had the expected level of longevity, the expected markers for their age, for their demographic, and all of that. Sharon Salzberg said, her initial takeaway from this, and I agree with this, is this sort of interconnectedness, that our love exists in our interconnectedness with each other, with life, with dogs, cats, babies, all of it, but with each other. And this is how we develop our love. We see it in relationship. And then she goes on to say, let me see if I can read her words. It's really quite nice. She says, this study suggests, among other things, the enlivening power of connection, of love, of intimacy. But when I heard about this study, I also reflected on how we often regard intimacy as a force between ourselves and something outside ourselves, another person, a pet, or even a plant, and how rarely we consider the force of being intimate with ourselves, with our own inner experience. How rarely do we lay claim to our own lives and feel connected to ourselves? So yesterday, again, when we were online with Heather and Ben, and Heather was telling us about a friend of hers. Her friend has been seeing a therapist, and this therapist has told her friend to every day tell herself something good a friend might say about her, and just tell that to herself. And so we had a little break, and I thought of this, I love your everything, your heart, and your bones. And just for the heck of it, I said to myself, I love your everything, your heart, and your bones. Not quite that badly, but you know. I didn't get a whole lot of response within, but then I switched the pronoun. I love my everything. I love my heart. I love my bones. And it was an amazing experience. In fact, I would ask you right now, maybe under your breath, to say to yourself this funny children's phrase, I love my everything. I love my heart. I love my bones. And feel how that feels. Sharon Salzberg, in one of her meditations, she has many meditations and exercises throughout this. Did I mention it's a wonderful book? Throughout this wonderful book, she asks us to do a meditation that has I understand it's a version of a standard Buddhist chant, a standard Buddhist phrasing. May I be free from danger. May I have mental happiness. May I have physical happiness. May I have ease of well-being. And so do that now. You can close your eyes if you want to. May I be free from danger. May I have mental happiness. May I have physical happiness. May I have ease of well-being. How does that feel? It's transformative energy. It is transformative energy. And she says, you don't necessarily have to stick with these 4 phrases. So these are the 4 that are the standard. And if there's something that you need to shift, if you want 4 different phrases, still find your 4 phrases and just sit with those. She has another meditation we won't do today, where you spend 10 or 15 minutes and you go within and you think of something that you have done that you think was a good thing. Can you imagine spending 10 or 15 minutes thinking about something you've done that was a good thing? And if you can't find one, she says, then think of a positive aspect of yourself. But spend this 10 or 15 minutes, and like with any meditation, when your thoughts drift, you just gently bring them back. You say thank you for the thoughts that are going, and bring your thought back. We actually have quite a meditation leader over here, and maybe she'll lead some meditations for us at some point, Reverend Deborah. So that would be wonderful. I figured in talking about love, and especially in talking about loving ourselves, which I think a lot of times we're told we have to love ourselves before we can love anybody else, or before we can truly have love in our lives. Has anybody heard these kinds of phrases? Does anybody have an issue with it? I kind of do. Oh good, at least one other person. And the reason that I do is I think it's not an either or. I think sometimes I need to know Alan's love, Jim's love, other Jim's love, anybody's love. before I can know myself, and that they climb for each other. And sometimes we can see for each other. She talks about mirroring. Sometimes we can see for each other what people cannot see for themselves. Sometimes if I am not in my best place, I need someone else to see that for me, whether they talk it through with me or whether they just know it for me and I sense that energy. Someone needs to hold that space, just as Peter and Reverend Deborah are holding the space for us today. We had someone who walked into this center today, and I greeted them as we're all greeting each other, and I said, "Oh, you look healthy and energetic." And apparently this person has just been incredibly sick. But I am able to hold the space of seeing you as healthy and energetic, and you know who you are. I'm not going to call you out. And that is something we do for each other to bring forth more love in the world. We say something nice to the person at the grocery store. We think lovingly about a teenage child or grandchild when they do something that maybe isn't that lovable. And we're grateful when someone else does that for us, right? So I decided it would be good to observe how a dog handles loving itself, because we learn from dogs and cats and each other and all these things. And so the dog gets up, wags its tail, maybe sees itself in the mirror, doesn't really care, and never once says, "I think today, I have a little too much belly or my hips are too wide." And the cat, meanwhile, goes about its business, jumps on the counter, knocks over your glass, and looks at you like you're the one who needs to learn from this experience. So we get models of love all over the place. We get models of love all over the place. And we come here and we model love for each other. We are born in love. We are born of love. We are created of love stuff. And we spend our lives with each other and with ourselves, coming back to a place where we know this consciously. We know this as our true being. And today, we are going to experience how we are created of love and how we are loved through what we call an angel wash. We've done it once before recently in this center. Was anybody here for it? Mm-hmm. Okay. Many people said they wanted to do it again, and so I will tell you how this works. We move the chairs to the side enough so that we have a decently wide corridor down the middle. And then we have lines of people facing each other. It doesn't have to be perfect. So, maybe Peter and me, but we have a line of people facing each other down the middle corridor with room for somebody to walk, but walk close enough that people would be able to lovingly, safely, and gently touch them. And so you walk slowly down the middle with someone lovingly, gently, safely touching you, maybe shoulders or back or head. Some people might even put their hand on your chest. And do not be afraid to touch the people who want to be touched, but also note that there are some people who really don't feel comfortable with being touched and still deserve all of that loving energy. If you are one of those people, love yourself and love us by putting your hands across your chest. This is your indication that yes, you like loving energy, everybody does, and you're not up for being touched for whatever reason. That is your choice. During this very intimate experience, we are going to turn off, we're going to pause the video so that it is not actually shared on YouTube because it can go very deep. And Teresa, I'm wondering if you could tell our YouTube audience what they can do while the video is paused. So there's a camera there.
They can.
Why don't you come up and use the mic? I didn't warn her about this.
They can find a meditative place. I don't know if this is on, but a meditative place within their own heart, and they can imagine sending that love to themselves, or they can imagine a loved one they want to send this loving energy to. Sort of like doing a little Reiki. Anyone can do it. And Reiki just is a word that means universal life force energy.
So give it to yourself or someone you love.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me call on you impromptu. So we will, does anybody have questions before we start moving furniture?